Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. And today we have yet another topper with us. He is Mr. Alvin, and he has recently cleared RBI Grade B 2021 examination. So let's welcome him. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi, fine. How are you?
I'm also good. First of
Okay.
all, heartiest congratulations for the big achievement.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I owe it to you guys. The EduTap team has been
Right.
instrumental in my success story. Thanks a
Right.
lot.
We are humbled to do so. So, sir, first of all, we would like to know about your education qualification, like what you did and then how you landed up preparing for RBI and then eventually clearing it.
Okay, fine, fine. So I did my graduation in electrical engineering from IIT Jodhpur. Then from there I got placed to Tata Motors. So I worked there for 2.5 years at their Pune plant. It was a great company, but I resigned that to pursue my civil services stream. So after two failed attempts at civil services, so I thought now I got to reduce the risks because I was putting all my eggs in the same basket with respect to
Right.
civil services. So I looked for the options like the kind of jobs which I can do justice's job and also have sufficient time for continuing my preparation. So that's when one of my friends recommended me about the RBI. Actually, I had cleared last year. His name is Harinath. So from him, I got to know more about the exam. So I understood that's how I got into the RBI preparation cycle.
Right.
And
Uh,
luckily, here I am sitting before you.
right. So, sir, today we'll know about all the strategies that you follow and you think is right for the aspirant as well. And we will
Okay, fine.
also know much from your learnings that you had during preparation of this particular examination.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah.
Right. So we'll go with phase one. We'll understand about every subject, how you prepared for them, and what sources did you follow, which would help aspirants for the same. And then we'll move ahead to phase two, and then finally to the interview section. Right.
Okay, fine. That's
So
great.
starting with phase one, uh,
Okay,
for numerical ability and reasoning. Because you're
okay.
from BTech background, so you must be
Yeah.
good at it. But still, there a revision is required for that, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I would like to say that for any exam, that to any stage of the exam, you need to understand the demand. So
Right.
first thing, the best thing to do for that will be going through the previous year question papers. That should be your guiding light because from there you understand what the exam demands from you. So I went through the past previous year phase one papers, understood all the four sections. So I understood more or less understood the demand of the question. Now
Hmm.
I think you should each aspirant has their own strengths and weaknesses. So for me, quantitative ability and English section, my strengths, and other two, not like average kind of thing for me. So my
Right.
strategy will be based on my strength and weaknesses. So
Right.
here I recommend each candidate to make their own fine tailored strategy. So
Right.
for me, quant, I understood that quantitative aptitude, I understood that I got the conceptual clarity. Like I know how to do the questions. I just need to improve on my speed, calculation
Right.
speed.
Right.
So my strategy was accordingly. So I started by hearting some of the squares, cubes, percentages, fractions, etc. So which will help me improve my calculation speed. And other than that, I randomly did some questions like maybe in 1 or 2 days to see that if there's an improvement in my speed. And with respect to English, I was okay with no preparation, so I didn't spend much time for that for phase one. And then comes reasoning. So reasoning in the miscellaneous question sections, I found out that I could do justice to the questions. In puzzle solving, I needed to have strategy. So I use the free YouTube videos. Relied on them. So some of the so it's like Ankush Lamper sir and many other institutes, the random videos I watched and just formulated a strategy of solving the puzzles. So that's how I worked
Right.
on the reasoning part. And for GA, like I relied on the similar topper series of the last year RBI toppers conducted by EduTap and other institutes. So the GA sources which they used, I made a list. And from that, I chose a Bangalore Sadda monthly magazine because it was a small magazine. So I thought I could do multiple revisions. And I also found out the from my friend who gave an award recently that EduTap magazine is also very comprehensive. I didn't choose that at that point because I thought I won't be able to revise that much. But right now, going through that, I find that it's very much comprehensive and it will be very helpful considering that G has 80 marks and the phase one, a
Right.
huge weightage compared to others. So that could be a good option for the candidates who are attempting for the coming RB exam at the EduTap
Right.
magazine. So the main thing is to revise for GA and also for like quantitative aptitude, the formulas and things. Main thing is revision and practice. So first you should fix your own resources set.
Right.
Uh, do that comprehensively, then revise that. Only if you're confident, you broaden your sources. Like I
Right.
see many of my friends like they do multiple sources for GA, 2 or 3 sources, but they end up not having time to revise. So they don't So the information is not structured in their mind, so they make mistakes in the exam. So do one source, revise it when you're confident and have time, then expand your sources. So that will be a good strategy, I guess.
Right. So, sir, as for reasoning, you were saying that you went for random YouTube videos
Yeah,
to have to know the what are the tricks that can be used to solve those kind
exactly.
of
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
So, sir, did you go for you just type randomly for reasoning videos, or you went for chapter wise that what normally are asked in the examination?
So the miscellaneous part I knew more or less how to do. So my main issue was with respect to the puzzles. So it was taking when I
Right.
tried solving by myself, I was taking more time. So I was not
Time.
doing it in the structured way. So I just randomly typed like puzzle solving videos. So there are a lot
Right.
of videos that came up through that. If I like the video, I followed the reasoning videos in their channel.
Yes, sir.
So in this respect, Ankush Lambasa's videos I found it very interesting and nice. So I followed
Right.
many of his videos, and there are many other channels also, like Talent Sprint, a lot of other channels.
Right.
So
So,
mainly random search of videos, basically.
right. And so, what do you feel the type of reasoning that comes in RBI? Is it more or less similar to what comes in banking and other examination, or is a little bit different?
It's more or less the same, I guess. More or less the weightage to each topic might differ, but the broad topics remain more or less same, I guess.
Right.
And the level also, but it's all I felt more or less same. Some of my friends found this time's exam a bit more difficult. That's very evident from the cutoff. Like last year, it was around 120, and this time it's around 66.75. It was overall difficult, but for me, I
Yeah.
found the level almost same.
Right. But the topics they are more or less similar to other examinations
Yeah,
only.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So
Right.
anyway, you need to verify it going through the previous year question paper. So for me, I felt the demand is more or less same.
Right. And so for GA also, what do you think? What was the proportion of static and current affairs? Like which was more?
GH mostly current affairs, I guess, and that too, like sources like economic survey, budget had huge weightage, like the scheme allocations and also a lot of things to read and revise multiple times. These data and facts don't stick with you that easily because they're not conceptual. You just have to by heart them and revise that. So it's very much current affairs oriented, I guess. And this time GA also was a bit more to the tougher side, seeing that
Right.
the cutoff has reduced from the last time.
Right. So means aspirant they should focus on this budget and other
Yeah,
statistic.
budget, economic survey, schemes in that area. So if you go through the past year papers, you get the broad areas in which they focus. So every time there will be questions on the schemes, the funds allocated, the ministry, under which ministry it comes. So you understand how they are asking the question, so you can prepare accordingly. So the previous year question paper should be a
Right.
guiding light in that respect.
Right. And so for English, what do you think if somebody with average English, would it be clear to would you be able to give the exam properly, or does there is you should have good English, right?
No, no, you just the questions which are answered very basic in nature, like finding the grammatical errors and okay, I don't remember the exact types right now, but they're basic in nature,
Right. Right.
except some of the vocabulary questions that come. That the cost benefit ratio of going behind for that two questions is very low. So anyone with average English, or even if it's you are a bit poor on English, and if you work on that, you can improve. So
Right.
that's why it has to be your strategy has to be based on your strength and weaknesses.
Right.
So for me, it was a strength, so I didn't put much effort. So
Right.
for me, other areas my weakness, so I put my effort on that. So if you find English is not your forte, then put some extra effort with respect to that. It's a basic
Hmm.
level kind of questions.
Okay. So means the questions are basic.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if you're good at it, you just have to revise, or you just have to attempt the mock test only.
yeah, exactly. So from the mock test, you understand your weak area, like close test or passages or vocab or grammatical. You understand your weak areas and your strengths. So you fine tune accordingly. So you understood English. First, you understood that English is a weak area. Now you understood in English which are your weak areas. So you
Right.
focus more particular type of test. If your close test is a weak area, then you focus on close test mock test. So you improve in
Right.
that area. So gradually make your weaknesses you're not if you're not your strength at least to the above average level.
Right.
So that's only what is expected from you. If you see the previous year questions, you'll understand that.
Right. So this was for phase one. And now
Yeah, yeah,
phase two, because this time the pattern was changed, descriptive was
yeah.
also introduced in this.
It was a shock for all actually.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what was your reaction when you got to know that now you have to go for descriptive also?
Actually, in a way, I was thrilled because I thought that my
Right.
UPSC objective preparation will somehow help me in the descriptive part. Because all
Right.
the other candidates were very much focused on the RBI. The entire year they were preparing for objective kind
Right.
of phase two.
Right.
So there I thought I could have an edge or the other candidate, but I have to work and make sure that I have that. So
Right.
the strategy, yeah, strategy videos from EduTap by Anjit sir, Deepak sir, and all were very helpful in planning out that, because only when the notification came, we knew about that. So there were about only 2 months or so. So their strategy sessions helped me with respect to that. So objective, the same thing goes. So I think I would like to take it subject wise with respect to phase two. So first for ESI, so there's mainly three parts for ESI which I feel. So one is current affairs. So here you just have to continue your phase one GA preparation. So the extra months after the films, you just have to add on that. So your current affairs goes on like that. And other parts is schemes and reports. So schemes and reports. So EduTap has very comprehensive magazine for schemes and reports. But since I didn't have that much time, I went with the on-tap monthly magazines of schemes and reports. So I did that about 6 months from the date of the mains exam. I did for 6 months. So and the quizzes also, monthly quizzes also. So I did multiple revisions of that. So that was about the objective part of ESI. And for the descriptive part, as I said, my UPSC preparation came handy here. So, and the EduTap fodder material, which was released for the descriptive part, was very helpful. So, for each answer, I think we should have an introduction, a body part, which answers the demand of the question, and a brief conclusion, which is positive and forward looking. So, here from the fodder of the EduTap, I was able to make a brief introduction for, like, I was able to structure each answer or each topic, like if it's a question about poverty, so brief introduction which I will write about poverty, and body of the question will depend upon the demand the question is asked, and conclusion which I could write. I just framed for key topics in this syllabus. So and with respect to practicing one, because it's a typing thing, you have to type the exam. So I use the Grammarly website. So randomly I used to type some sentences. I didn't write a complete answer per se. I write some sentences. So what the feedback is in the Grammarly website, to correct it accordingly, make note of that, like after etc. You have to put a comma here, things like that. Brief grammatical errors which we don't focus while writing, but here it becomes evident. So I use the website for improving my typing, like answer quality with respect to grammatical errors and spelling errors. So that's what it's about the ESI part. And English, the same thing. English, so you know the questions. It's an essay, reading comprehension, and then it's precis writing.
Yeah.
So I use the Grammarly website here also. I didn't write a complete essay or precis as such. I just understood what are the basic rules of that. Like in precis or reading comprehension, it should be in your own words. You shouldn't copy paste the same word from the passage. So basic ground rules of that from the EduTap videos I understood. Then I just used the Grammarly website. So in order to improve my typing speed, because the word limit was a bit on the higher side this time with respect to the marks. So everyone was concerned with respect to that. So even I am having a very poor typing speed. So I worked on that also. And now coming to the finance and management part, it's the same thing. Phase one, you just revise that. And the same strategy for ESI descriptive I used here. For every broad keywords in the syllabus, I had an introduction, a body, like how I will write some examples, and the conclusion part.
Right.
And ESI part, I would like to add. So ESI being a very dynamic in nature, if you study a lot of schemes and all, it will be very helpful. Schemes and fund allocation, you can use that as an example. Like for some of the questions, in this time there will be questions write brief notes on NABARD, SIDBI, and questions like that. So if you know what like the NABARD developmentary role, different roles of NABARD was asked. So if you just write that it plays a developmental role and helps in development of institution, helps in reducing poverty. There are just lines. If you're able to substantiate that with data and examples, it will do much justice to your answer. So like for SDGs, this much amount was allocated recently. So that kind of examples will enrich your answer and give you edge above the other's answer, which would be general. So that's how I think it worked out for me. So luckily I had good marks in the mains section. So looking back, I am able to say that these might be the things that helped me get that marks.
Right. Because most of the candidate, they just write a generic answer. But if you give more examples, we'll write about the schemes that will give weightage to it.
Exactly. Like for in finance management, there's questions about corporate governance. So you bring in more examples from the current affairs, like a good example, like the Tata Group, a very good ethical corporate governance values. And so that kind of examples you bring, it will differentiate your answer from the other candidates.
Right.
Yeah. So examples and value additions, that you have to find out how to add more value to the answer other than just writing the basic stuff.
Right. Right. So this was about the written part, and now
Yeah.
coming to the interview. So
Okay.
yeah, so what was it like? Were you in front of the cordial panel, or were they quite
Yeah,
strict?
yeah. The panel was very cordial and very receptive of what we were hearing, what you were saying.
Mm.
The counter questions were to the minimum, and so it was a very smooth experience. So I felt good after the interview, and most of my friends who had interview on that day had the same experience, more or less. This year, because the number of candidates are on the higher side, and the interview duration was like around 15 minutes compared to last time's interview, of which was around a half an hour something. The interview duration is very less. So it was like you get in and you get out. You don't understand. The time flows very smoothly, and you
Right,
don't know that interview is over. So
right.
they make you comfortable. It was very nice. The panel was very cordial.
And so, what kind of questions were asked?
So for interview, for with respect to me, so the main broad areas of interview are like biodata, which is most important thing because that is the document through which they see you. This is a filter through which the panel members see you. And so what you write in the biodata will catch their eye, and the questions will be with respect to that, especially the work experience part, if you have any, and if it's a different field other than banking. So you'll have to justify like why did you shift from that area to banking area. For me, I was from an engineering graduate, so I had to justify that. And other areas are like for some people hear that about hobbies the questions were asked. So mainly your biodata becomes the primary source, the like holy grail for interview preparation, because that's how they see you. And next part comes related to RBI, the organization in which you're planning to get into, if luck favors us.
Hmm.
So about RBI, so two part is static part and current affairs. So current affairs, you can use the daily newspaper reading of any standard
Hmm.
newspaper, and the RBI website. So the recent notifications, circulars, the governors and deputy governors' speeches, all this can be your current affairs with respect to RBI. And for the static part, I relied on the book released by the RBI Staff Training College, Chennai. Which is a very comprehensive book about RBI's working and functioning. So I relied that, made note from that, and revised that. So the static part in the website is skipped because I followed the book of the RBI college. So then the other part is yeah, like for the interview also you need to understand the demand. So here comes in the role of transcripts of last. So I refer to the transcripts of all last year candidates. Uh, so there are a lot of transcripts. I understood roughly what the panel is demanding of you. But this year, since there's a bit change in the duration is
Hmm.
reduced, so demand has changed a bit. So and luckily my interview was on the last date, actually August 24th, the last date of general candidates. So I had a lot of transcript of candidates before me. So I
Right,
went through that, understood the questions. So some questions some candidate might not be able to answer when you face the interview, but if you
right,
know that beforehand,
right,
like for some questions to some candidates was of like do a SWOT analysis of like for example RBI or Chinese economy or USL. So I
right,
understood that okay there is some one in the panel who demands a SWOT analysis. So I
right,
prepared accordingly. So when I was faced with that question, he asked me, okay, do a SWOT analysis of yourself, Mr. Alvin. So since I was already prepared, I seen that question, I was able to do justice to that. So
right,
going through the transcript helps you a lot, but don't be overwhelmed because each transcript is that pertain to that candidate's past experiences. So do the pick up the question which you think which could be asked to you with your experience and your past.
yeah,
So do work on them. So transcripts play an important role in that. It's biodata and the RBI related current affairs and static part because that's the organization you're planning to go into.
right,
And then
right,
the transcript, understanding the demand of the panelists.
right. Because there are some generic questions that is asked
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
candidate. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
so
guess you
yeah,
can go and prepare
there
for
are a
that.
lot of. Sorry, you were saying something?
No, I was just saying that only that candidate should must prepare the generic
Yeah,
questions.
exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly, you're right. So there are a lot of common HR kind of questions. So which is asked to literally all the candidates. So like why RBI, why not RBI, why should we hire you, or why should we not hire you? And I feel that most of the candidates are from engineering background. So why did you shift from engineering to banking? So these questions are repeated to most or almost all the candidates. So if you
Hmm.
are able to score well in these questions, I think that will make a difference. So other questions like some facts or something which you don't know, they might ask if you say I don't know, sir or ma'am, that's fine. But these questions which are very easy, like not easy to answer, but if you prepare and
Right,
score nicely, I think that will make a good difference in your interview score.
right. Yeah, those are not easy, but yes, those are some expected questions, so we
Yeah,
can
like
go prepared.
Yeah, exactly. So like if we ask why should we not hire you, why should we hire you, sounds easy, but at that moment, if you're faced, it's like a bouncer. You're not able to pick up good words, structure your answer. So from other candidates' transcripts, if you prepare and structure something, then you might be able to put it in a much better way than otherwise if you had been asked spontaneously. So going through the transcripts helps a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Elvin says that know your strength and weakness. Go through the previous year question paper so that you know which are your strength and weakness, and then work accordingly. For numerical ability, he approached for the mock test because he felt like his conceptual quality is clear. It just on the speed that he needs to work on. For GA, he says revise it thoroughly and do not go for many sources. Just go for one and then revise again and again, because that plays a major part. And GA also helps in the second phase also. So study it accordingly that you remember it during till the phase 2 also. And for English, he says basic questions come in the examination, but again look at the previous year question paper and then compare how much you know, how much you can attempt, and what are your weaknesses, and then work on it. Then for phase 2, go for in general standard. For the descriptive, he says you should have a good intro, you should have a good body, and then good conclusion. And he says that add as much example as you can, as much as schemes and other solutions as you can, because that would make your answer different from the another. Don't give a generic answer, don't give a vague answer. You should these examples, they will add weightage to your answer, right? And for interview, he says there are some generic questions that are asked. For example, why do you want to join RBI, or why should we hire you? These are some generic questions. And you can also go through the transcript of the previous candidates. What does it mean, or whatever is asked to the other candidates, do not give their answer, but yes, do look at what questions have been asked, what can be asked from you, and then then prepare yourself for that particular answer, right? So this was some mota mota jo aapne kaha.
Yeah.
Right, so have I missed anything?
Sorry.
Have I missed anything, like
No, fine. You have summed it up very nicely. Yeah, that's the whole part.
Right. So sir, for the future aspirants, do you want to say anything?
So the same thing which you told. So if you're targeting this exam, and first understand the demand of the exam. That's where many of the candidates miss the most important part. Then you should understand yourself, your strength and weakness. Then you need to connect both. Like how can my strength and weakness help me and achieve the demand of the exam? So that's how the strategy parts come in. So it should be specific to you. And setbacks might happen even if after you put a lot of efforts. We meet with failures in many aspects of life, but keep going till you achieve your dream or goal, whatever. So keep going on forward.
Right. Always go forward. Hard work never goes waste.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so thank you so much, sir, for joining us, for sharing your views, and I'm sure it is definitely going to help aspirants for the preparation.
Yeah, I hope it helps someone, so that I'll be very happy if it does. And thanks a lot for the RUTAP team for having me. And as I've told, the RUTAP has been a crucial aspect in my preparation. This whole, like the RUTAP content is this whole thing which I relied for the entire preparation. So I would like to share my gratitude to the entire RUTAP team, especially Deepak sir and Anjit sir. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot. You guys are doing great work, and I hope your work helps a lot of other aspirants in the future also.
Thank you so much, sir. We try our best to give best to our students.
Yeah.
And we hope that we'll serve forward like this only.
Okay. I hope that's okay.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Okay, thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.